I woke up Monday to devastating news that Paul Reubens had passed away. And, we lose people all the time. There's always hearing about people that have died. And obviously, some better than others, but it really hit me that Paul was gone. He didn't tell a lot of us, I don't think any of us, that he was sick. He's been fighting, I think, his illness for a number of years. And I just adored this guy. And I think one of the things that people need to know is that obviously the character of Pee-wee was just mind-numbingly funny and surreal and hilarious and original. He was so funny as Pee-wee, but Paul, when he was just Paul Reubens, he was so quick, so razor sharp, such a delightful person, a very sensitive guy. And I sent this out in a tweet. He would always be sending over on anyone's birthday. If he knew them even slightly, he would fill their inbox that day with all these like silly cartoons and memes about birthday, old Disney cartoons, old weird memes about birthday and cats falling into birthday cakes. And he would do it all day long. And it wasn't just me. It was just anybody that he encountered. He would do this for, and such a lovely way of, we all just want to feel seen or recognized, and for someone like Paul to do that for so many people was just a gorgeous kind of statement. That's a gorgeous statement of who he was. And I have a bunch of memories, but one thing, he came to my Christmas party this year, and he brought, I think, 15 gifts, all individually wrapped. And they're all silly things, but individually wrapped gifts. My Christmas party the year before, he brought a Pee-wee Chia Pet head. So I put it out on display this last year, and Paul came. And it was, did you guys see him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He was there, yeah. And it's hard to believe this is 5 months ago, whatever it was, but he was at the party, and he brought all these gifts, so many that Paul died on Monday, and I came upstairs and it really hit me hard, and I walked into the area just right next to my kitchen, and I suddenly saw it, but I remembered we opened up all of them, but there were so many we didn't get to 2, and they're still there wrapped, and I can't do it. Like I cannot open them because that feels like, finishing. I just want to leave them wrapped for right now, and I will unwrap them, but I want to leave them unwrapped. But then the other thing that happened last night, which just is surreal and magical. As you know, Sona, I'm not a computer person.
Right.
And so I've been trying to get better at some guitar licks recently, and I have this really good guitar teacher who's been helping me out, and his technique is he sits with me for like 2 hours, works with me, and then he sends me these files. It's videos of him explaining once again how to do it so I don't forget. And I'm not good at this. I'm terrible at this. So he sent it to me. I pressed the button to download it, and it went somewhere in my computer, and I wasn't sure where it went. So last night, I start looking around in the file part of my computer, which I never do. I never do that. And you can attest that this is not something I do. And I'm looking at like the Google Chrome, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, where would this go? And then I find a big thing of files, and I never do this. And I'm going through the whole thing of files, and seeing all these JPEG 33, this many millibytes, whatever. I'm sorry.
You're really imbuing those with personality that they don't have.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm seeing numbers and I'm seeing files, and some of them are miscellaneous things we did for the COVID shows, for the late night show during COVID. Some of them are just literally just filled with stuff. And then I see this tiny, tiny little square, and it's this little person. And I'm thinking, that looks like Paul. And I click on it. And it's a message from a year ago that he sent me that I had watched at the time. And it was for my birthday year before last. So it's, a year and 2 months, 14 months ago, whatever it was, 15 months ago. And he just suddenly comes up on the screen and talks to me. And I remember this message because I loved it so much and saved it. But I had forgotten. And it's just him talking to me and telling me, in a way, it felt like he was saying goodbye, because it was him saying, how much he values our friendship. And I'm not going to get into, details about it, but it was I was just stunned. And it was, I think, 6 minutes long and really funny, but also just incredibly sweet, and him talking to me. And when it was done, I went in and I told my wife what I had just watched, and she started crying, and she said, "Oh my God, good for him." Like he went out of his way to tell people what they meant to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He went out of his way to be sweet and kind, and I know I don't know, and I'm sure he did that for a lot of people, and it made me realize what a generous thing to do. If this is just a year ago, so he knows he's not well, and to do that, to extend yourself like that and do that, and it's such a gift, because we lose people and we have no idea how, and this was a nice thing he did. It sounds crazy, but it made me feel so much better. Do you know what I mean? It's like he just showed up on my computer magically and had this nice conversation with me. I don't know. I just I've been thinking about him constantly, and it felt appropriate. He was on the podcast in 2020. And again, this is Paul. This is not Pee Wee. This is Paul. And I don't know how well you guys remember it, but he was so quick and so agile and fast and delightful.
I also remember him being pretty humble about things, not wanting to overstep verbally and things like that.
Yeah. He's I don't know, we shall not see his like again.